General Motors said around July 2022 that they would limit the transfer of their 3 vehicles. The Corvette Z06 was one of them, the others being the Cadillac Escalade and the GMC Hummer EV, and the plan was made to maybe stop the issue of flippers who would acquire the car and then sell it after the car's release for exorbitant rates. The report claimed that GM would also forbid sellers from placing future orders or reservations for these in-demand models and that this restriction would last for 12 months. As things stand, the restrictions are still very much in place as GM continues to rein in flippers activities. The required ownership period has since been lowered to 6 months, and GM has stated that they will not make any exceptions to the regulation, regardless of whether you are a private buyer or a dealer. In this video, we'll go over the specifics of this most recent update as well as a couple of other fascinating Corvette Z06 related topics. So let's get started. Following the announcement, which was revealed by a GM authority in late July of this year, GM's most recent change shortens the first requirement for ownership from 12 to 6 months. The news was announced just a few weeks ago by the GM authority, who also said that the ownership duration will be cut down to 6 months, especially for the Corvette Z06. Initially, it was anticipated that purchasers of the Z06 who didn't sell their vehicle within a year would also receive enticing offers, one of which includes 500,000 My Chevrolet reward points or $5,000 in value. Although you won't be able to collect the reward in cash, you may use it to redeem a variety of items, including Chevrolet accessories, GM financial payments, and more. But as of recently, regardless of whether the new buyer is a private party or a dealership, a GM authority has once again reported that GM would not be making any exceptions to the 6-month ownership requirement period. This component of the offer or GM's strategy to reduce the number of flippers had not previously been disclosed or given much thought by GM. However, once GM authority looked into the matter, a GM official affirmed that the decision would be uniform and come with no exceptions, even if the automobile was returned to the dealer if the customer wasn't satisfied. This means that if you decide the Z06 isn't the right car for you and decide to return it to the original dealer, you'll have to wait 6 months before you can transfer any warranties. Additionally, you'll miss out on the promotions, which severely harms your chances of obtaining a new high-demand Chevy vehicle. Even though it is anticipated that this would be a wise move on the part of GM, it will be fascinating to see how it plays out, especially because the offers or awards for the Z06 are still quite low in comparison to what flippers would make by simply flipping the car. Even more, it appears that GM is backing away from a strategy it devised to deal with a flipper scenario, given the change in ownership time from a full year to 6 months. Flipping high-demand vehicles has been a common activity for a very long time, and it's not only limited to Chevrolet vehicles. The movies are also thought to be harming customer satisfaction because willing buyers will have to pay more than usual to purchase the vehicle, particularly at this time when demand for the Z06 is increasing at a rapid rate and everyone appears eager to experience the feel of a supercar as beautifully crafted as the 2023 Corvette Z06. Speaking of the rising demand for the Z06, order books are closing until the end of this year 2022, so potential purchasers who haven't yet placed an order will have to wait until the next year before they can do so. Interested parties may have to wait a lot longer before they can even have their car, with a possible 2024 date being plausible, according to the report that Chevrolet won't be building many 2023 Z06s. The automaker has decided to cease taking orders for the Z06 for the time being to improve the Z06's construction, rather than accept orders for vehicles that might not be completed. This is understandable for those who ordered the 2020 Corvette C8 Stingray after it was introduced. It will also be fascinating to watch if GM gets this right and whether or not they'll be accepting too many orders in the coming year now that manufacturing of the Z06 is officially underway. In other developments, even though the Z06 is still being developed, other automakers may already be comparing it to it, with Ford being the most likely suspect at the moment. A 2023 Corvette Z06 was spotted leaving Ford's Vehicle Development Center in Dearborn, Michigan, according to a GM Authority report. It was assumed the car was a part of an intra-OEM vehicle swap, in which GM would have also received a Ford car. The Ford Mustang 2024 is most likely to be substituted for that choice. This might perhaps imply that Ford is using the Z06 as a standard for some upcoming vehicles. Ford is purportedly seeking to bring back the Ford Thunderbird as a future Corvette competitor. It is anticipated that the car would be transformed into a more performance-oriented model like its forerunner. Additionally, both in terms of performance and cost, it would rank considerably above the Mustang in Ford's lineup. Although the Ford Thunderbird is still in the planning stages and there are no rumors as to the parallels it will have with the Z06, it is likely to use a different engine that will most likely be a strong gasoline-powered output that will bid Ford's ICE platform farewell. Now, before we go to car comparison and reveal the Z06 price, please give a thumbs up if you're enjoying this video so far, and keep on watching until the very end to find out more about the C8 Z06. The Ferrari F8, McLaren 720s, Audi 8, and Porsche 911 GT3 are the most likely rivals the Corvette Z06 will face in terms of vehicles. The Z06 appears to be the more affordable choice concerning these vehicles and also has one of the greatest engines and performance specifications. When you consider other characteristics, the distance between us and the Z06 isn't all that great. The 2022 Ferrari F8 Tributo costs $281,000 in contrast. The McLaren 720s from 2022 will cost $302,000. The price range for the 2022 Audi R8 is $151,895 to $164,095. The 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 costs $161,000 to finish. The base Z06 is $106,395 in price. Additionally, even after adding several packages such as the Z06 package and some other options, you can still purchase a respectable Z06 for under $150,000, which is less expensive than any of its previously stated rivals. It is only fair that they don't anticipate that customers will have to return their automobiles to dealers after purchasing them. Therefore, the current information that GM makes no exceptions would have been expected. The news that GM may be reducing the required ownership period for the Z06 may have come as a surprise. The change appears to be a modest attempt to discourage flippers, but given how minimal it appears to be, it will be interesting to watch what transpires after purchasers begin receiving their Z06s. What do you think of the most recent GM update? Do you believe it helps to reduce flipper activity? Please comment down below. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Fred. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. Now, do you believe that Corvette's demand is dying? Intriguing? Then to know more, click and watch the next video here.